Right, so 'twas the watching hour, and it's the longest night and the shortest day on this side of the hemisphere anyway. And I just got back from a ball, so I'm kind of a little bit wired, so I thought I would sort of, do this quick, or might not be quick, update on the goat. As you know, this was delayed in getting out. It was supposed to be released a long time before it was, and it sort of, I suspect, had to be released because it was so late. It had been on Kickstarter, it had been on Indiegogo, it had been on promised to be released, and it was released, and I think it was rushed because there's some issues with it that, for me, means it's no longer suitable. For one of them, the sheath just wore a hole in it. I mean, I get a new sheath, right? I could go and buy another sheath. That's not a major issue, I guess. But that's not the only issue. The other issue I've got is that it does keep coming a bit loose. The handles, the little screws in here. Now I could put Loctite in that, and that would solve that. And I kind of knew that would be the case because I put scales on it, but I haven't been 100% certain of where I want the tools to kind of lay, and sometimes that changes things. So Loctite would mean it didn't necessarily end up being where it was, and I have played around with the positions of the tools several times and what tools go in it as well, because the advantage of this obviously is that you can take different tools and drop them into play so that you've got things, and it's got the stuff to tighten things up as you go along. But that's not the issue. So the issue for me is several things. For one, for instance, is the scissors. So the scissors, as it came out, and this is why I'm saying it's potentially rushed, is that the scissors don't work properly. They're not broken in any way, form. Just that when you use them, the little spring here that controls it and brings it back and forth so that it works as an ordinary scissors and doesn't just close up like that. It doesn't work properly. You have to physically bend the spring just a little bit, so that when they do work, it doesn't just close like that, right? Bang, it should pop back open. And so the spring just wasn't quite done right. Doesn't take a great deal of effort to get it. That's where it should be, and when you do that, it does work well. But you have to manually take it out and push it yourself to bend it to where it should be so that it works properly. So that is an issue. To me, I don't think that should be the case. The second thing that is wrong, and which is why I'm saying it was rushed to market, is the cutters. Cutters are just, it's hard to see there, but there's just not, they don't quite have enough bite in there to cut things through. And I think the reason for that is they've made this really clever system where you can release the thing, twist it, you get, that's a sharp edge, this is a sharp edge, that's a sharp edge. So if you wear it out, you can twist it, rotate it, put it back in, and you get another edge. So you don't have to just throw the whole thing away. You can use it, effectively 3 times with blunting it, if you're cutting such a thing that bluntens it, before you need to get rid of it. So that's clever. How it operates with not enough overbite is not clever. So the way you fix that is you take a Dremel, you take the cutter out, you grind away just a little bit of metal so that the bite actually works. You've got enough meat to actually cut through whatever you're cutting. but not so much metal that the screw no longer holds it in place. So where the threaded hole is really close to where the edge is, and so you've got to be very careful with a Dremel or a Fordham or I don't know, a file maybe, and just take away enough metal for that to work efficiently. Now I haven't done that yet. I mean, I've got the tools to do it. Wasn't happy with having to do it, and I might do it one day, but that's something you have to do, and I'm not happy about the fact that you have to do it straight out of the box, right? A brand new tool, you shouldn't have to do much more than just work it a few times to loosen it up. But the final thing, the nail in the coffin for me, was the blade. It's a good blade. It's S35 VN knife steel. It's a good steel. I can't open it one-handed. I've tried various different positions to try and get it right, and the effort required to get it to open one-handed is not worth being able to do it. Now, being able to open a knife one-handed isn't necessarily a deal breaker, but for me, effort required, just not good. I tried it in various different positions, right? I've tried it over here, there it's got too much play. I've tried it various different ways to try and make it work. This is the best way I can get it to work, because with proper effort, I can, as long as I hold this bit down, I can open it one-handed, but it's quite an effort, and I run the risk of slicing my finger open on it. So I could get some bronze phosphor washers and pack this out, and I'm thinking about doing that. That's kind of why I haven't also put the Loctite in here. I think what I need to do is replace the two, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 little screws. Give myself some washers, give these more play. You know, there's things you could do to it. But the thing that is disappointing is that it doesn't work. Now, the thing that does work really well is both the form factor, the size, the hammer. I love the fact that I can use it as a hammer. Bang, away you go. It's got these nice titanium scales on it that I put on, which are nice and strong. And next to the blade, of course, is one of the pieces de resistance, as far as I'm concerned, and that's the driver. And so with these, I can use what's in here, or I've got this, some Leatherman kit. I've got a double one of these, two of these, so they whole pile of different tools, and you can just pop that out, put a different one in for whatever you need, you know, and bang, you're away. And for me, the fact that I wear this at work, and I wear it basically 11 hours a day, 5 days a week, and doing little screws is a major sort of thing for me. I'm always adjusting stuff and getting it back on the wall, because the girls are pretty tough on equipment. So that is really useful, and so I'm disappointed about not having that to do that. But the things that are wrong with it currently are more than overcomes the use, right? It's just, I know if I keep trying to open it like that, I'm gonna chop my finger. So that has to go. I wanted to like it, and I did like it, and I gave it a good run. And I feel like it's a really good concept, but I feel it was rushed to market, and they didn't quite get it right. And it was, even rushing it to market, they delayed it by months and months and months, and Michael, who's the owner, had to go back, re-enlist in the army, and get some more money to get everything right. So I can see why he did rush it. I just feel it didn't quite do it justice. So I'm still on the hunt for a multi-tool. So one option is this, right? Is the super tool. Now this is a replacement super tool for my first super tool, which I took to work. Colleague picked it up, broke it. My boss saw it, that it was broken at work, and said, "I'll buy you another one." And so I opted for it instead. Actually, this wave. This is the original wave. And then a few years ago, I picked up the broken bits of this, sent it to Leatherman, expecting them to tell me to go jump. And they went round and said, "Oh, well, we can't fix it, so here's a whole brand new one." It's okay. It's stiff and it's big. The problem is with this, again, is that I can't open it up one-handed and get out the blade. Now, it requires two hands to get out the blade. Once you got it out, it's locked in, but it's quite a manipulation to get it to that position, and then to close it again, you need to open it up, disengage the lock, close it. It's just a rigmarole. Does have replaceable cutters. That's a nice option, and you can see on these ones they're a lot bigger than the ones on the old goat. There's enough meat in there for you to chop something big, and if they ever get damaged, you take them off, throw them away, and put some new ones in, and you're in business. Now the goat ones, obviously you can spin more than once, so but this one you can see it's got enough oomph for it to actually get in there and bite. So better cutters. Now the problem with it is that I have used this to work for a wee while, tested it. It's not that it's too big, it's too heavy, it's just that, again, I don't like having to be stuck to opening something with two hands. So that's an issue. The other issue is that it doesn't have anything I can use these with, right? So it's got Phillips and a flat head, and that's what your options are. So that brings me to the tool, the wave. Now this is good size, I got used to this. The good thing about it for me is that I could just open it up one hand, use it without issue, and then I could close it, one hand as well. Generally when you're closing it, there's less an effort, but opening it, sometimes you're holding something with one hand, you need to cut it, having the option of just pulling the blade out and cutting it, and then you can kind of, often you'll then be tipping or pouring or opening or slicing or something, and you're done. So that was good. Now this is the original wave, so it's not the modern wave. So the problem with it is that it doesn't have any kind of adapting tools. It's just got, again, your flat head or your Phillips. It's got scissors and a saw and two different blades and things, and several different small flathead screwdrivers, but it doesn't have any way of dealing with these, or doesn't it? Does it? So what this one has, and I bought this as an adapter, it's a Leatherman tool, and it's a strange little thing, and what it is a bit adapter. So you open this up, you put it in here, and then you close it, and then you've got a tool, and you can adjust the angle, and it comes with several bits, or you can use one of these bits inside it as well, although it's not fully enclosed, but that doesn't work. It still works fine, and you can also adjust the angle of which it operates on, right? So that's kind of advantageous as well. But it comes with several bits which are thick ones, not little skinny ones like the Leatherman one. So that, although this is a Leatherman tool, Leatherman adapters, so that it goes in there and it's held in more securely. So potentially you could get more torque on it, I guess, without fear of it breaking. But that is a bit of a rigmarole. It's like you've got to, take it open, put it into place, adjust it such that it bites and locks, and then to get it out again, you've got to pull and strain and twist. But it is an option. Although I do worry that the case it comes in, which is this little flimsy plastic thing, is going to break, and then I'm up a creek without a paddle. So that's an option. But this is letting me down, and it does need some adjustment. It's a bit loose, it's a bit floppy. I'm hoping that one of these tools might fit in there and change it, but they don't seem to be standard screws. I'm not quite sure what they are. They seem to almost be 5-sided, not 6, but we'll see if something I've got will fit in these, so I can just tighten this up and get rid of some of the play. But again, having to take this and this is just a pain in the butt. So, that's out. So, I was kind of wondering what to do and how to deal with it all. Well, I have found a solution, and the solution is this. So this is the Surge, Leatherman Surge. I got a black one because all my other Leathermans are silver, so I just thought, why not get black? Same price, came with a nice little case. The case fits both sets of adapter blades. It's got a bit piece in here that holds them all. So, well, not all of them. It's one that this comes out, so I can put anyone I want in there. So I'll take all those pieces that I just showed you. The one thing it's got that the goat didn't have, although you can buy it for the goat now as well, is I can open my beer with it. Bam. And a can as well, I guess, if I was so desired. As well as that, it's got a few other neat tricks, because the other thing I used my multi-tool for fairly often was cutting bits of wood, and so they often have a saw. This one, its saw is kind of a weird one. So the saw blade itself looks a bit flimsy. Doesn't look as big as a kind of standard one, but what it is it's removable. So I can pop this, take this blade out, put a longer one, another one, a shorter one, a newer one, a fresher one. Or can also put the file, and it comes with a nice metal file. So that's a removable metal file, diamond bits on one side, so I can sharpen the blade itself if need be. I can put longer ones in, I can put shorter ones in. Anything with a T-shank goes in there and works, as just fits in. Other than that, it's just a big old Leatherman with a blade that I can open with one hand, close without too much worry. So grab one hand, open it up, bang. Less worry of cutting myself than with the goat, because it's already got the washers in there that I think the goat needs. One thing I must say though is that the blade is terrible. It's not sharp at all. I mean, I'm going to fix that anyway, no matter what it was, but it's just a terrible, terrible blade. Blunt as anything. And it looks like it's been sharpened by someone on a Friday afternoon, you know, just before knock-off time and slapped together with two sharp rocks, well, two blunt rocks. It's got a threaded edge. I'm not really a fan of two knives on a tool, because multi-tool, it's not really, in my opinion, a knife. I mean, obviously it's got a knife, it works as a knife, and I'm just saying how I like it now to open it with one hand and use the knife, but it's not the best knife in the whole wide world. And none of the tools on Leatherman really are the best tools in the whole wide world. It's not that sort of a thing. They're the tools you use when you can't get access to your real tools, right? So, but it fits into that nice little case which I carry on my side. It fits a little torch here, fits the Leatherman ratchet over here, fits a double row of bits in here, and here I've got spare blades and files, and it fits in that nice little case. Now, I will say that it is heavy and it is big. I don't mind that. So I'm going to give this a rock, give it a roll, see how it works, let you know if it's a good decision or whether I'm going to try something else. So what I'm rocking now is Goodbye Goat, Goodbye Wave, Goodbye Super Tool, and Hello Leatherman Surge. And yeah, I'm going to go and open a beer now with my bottle opener, and I'll say goodnight to all of you, and see you soon when we get back to doing some handles for this. Cheers guys, have a good night.